Have you ever wondered that is there any difference between present continuous and present perfect continuous? Or is it really important for us to use the verb's ing form in present perfect continuous? Or in case if we are talking about the time in present perfect continuous, do we really have to mention it? Or in case if we don't want to mention the time in present perfect continuous, then what else we can use instead? So if you have all these questions in your mind, then I want you to stay in this video until the very end so that I let you know how do we use present perfect continuous in our spoken language day-to-day conversation with other people who we meet with. Hi everyone, my name is Ranjit and you are watching Simple Shiksha. Now first of all, let's understand the difference between present continuous and present perfect continuous. In present continuous, we talk about an activity which is happening right now, which is continuing right now. For example, like he is playing, he is working, my mother is cooking, she is teaching. These are activities which is happening right now. On the other end, in case if we really want to emphasize about the time that for how long that thing is going on, that is the time when we use present perfect continuous. Yes, we mention the time in present continuous tenses and the same tenses convert into a present perfect continuous tenses. So now when we know the difference between present continuous and present perfect continuous, then what is the rule for it? How do we make these sentences? So I'm going to share all these rules with you. However, the rules will get changed depending upon the situation. I'll let you know about all those rules. And also I will share lots of examples with you to make you understand that in what situation, what exactly we use when it comes to has been and have been. So the first rule is like this: subject plus helping verb for present perfect continuous tenses will be has been and have been. And after that we use verbs ing form, then we use object, then in case if there is anything left in the sentence other than the time, then we use that. So after object we put etc. And then we use since and for. Since and for we use it depending upon the time, which I will describe you in a minute. So then we use since and for, and then we use the time or a situation. So this was the general rule. Other than this, there are a couple of more things which we need to keep in our mind about the subjects and about the helping verbs. In case if we are talking about a singular subject, for example, if we are talking about he, we are talking about she, we are talking about it, we are talking about one person, we are talking about one single thing or a singular noun, then we use helping verb has been. For example, he has been, she has been, it has been. These are the subject and helping verb combination. On the other end, in case if we are using I, you, we, they, or we are talking about more than one person, or we want to mention more than one thing or any plural noun, then we use helping verb have been. For example, I have been, you have been, they have been, we have been. These are the proper combination that we use. Other than this, if we talk about the time, for timing we use two separate words. One is since, other one is for. Now let's understand in what situation we use since and in what situation we use for. Since we use when we want to be very specific about some timing. For example, since January, since Monday, since last week, since 2021, since last 2 years. So for these situations we use since. However, in case if we just want to mention about the approximate duration, then we use for. For example, for 2 hours, for 2 days, for 6 months, for 10 years. So for all these situations we use for. Now let's go back to our general rules. Our general rule is subject plus helping verb plus verbs ing form plus object plus etc. plus since or for plus time. Now let's look at some examples and see that how exactly we use it in our spoken language. For example, I have been working on this since 2021. He's been playing in the garden since morning. It's been raining since yesterday. My father has been working in this company for 10 years. They have been neglecting me for 2 months. I have been singing songs since my childhood. So these are some examples for the rule 1. Here the verb is present in the sentence. For example, singing, living, neglecting, playing, working. These are some verbs with ing form which is present in the tense. Then we use rule number 1. Now let's talk about another situation wherein something is continuing but the verb is not present. That means someone is talking about his situation. He doesn't want to talk about the activity what he is doing, but he rather want to talk about some situation where he is in. Then what do we use? Then in that situation we just replace the verb with situation and then we put that into that place and then we use that. Let me give you the rule number 2 as well. So the rule number 2 will be subject plus helping verb, which is has been or have been, plus that situation, then object. In case if there is anything else left in that sentence, then we use that. Then we use since or for, and then we use the timing. Let's look at some examples as well to give you more clarification on it. For example, he's been sick since yesterday. He's been sick since yesterday. That means like he's not doing anything. He is in a situation where he's not feeling well, and that is why we have used the word sick. Sick is nothing. It's a situation where that person is. So sentence will be he's been sick since yesterday. Let's take another example. She's been very cranky for 2 days. She's been very cranky for 2 days. I have been stuck in traffic since 4 o'clock. So these are some situations wherein the verb is not present. However, we are referring towards a situation where we are in and we are still in that situation. Then we use rule number 2. Now let me talk about the contraction. You must have seen that instead of using the long form of he has been or she has been, I have said he's been and she's been. Yes, well, they both mean the same thing. Whether you say she has been or he has been, you can also say he's been, she's been, or you can also say it's been. For example, it's been raining for 2 days. So these are some contractions that we need to keep in our mind. This actually makes our speech more fluent, more confident, and it sounds more natural. Native speakers, they do not use the long phrases. They try to keep it short. For example, it's been raining since yesterday. She's been fighting with me for last 3 days. So they use the simple sentences. Now let's move on to situation number 3. Now before we move on to situation number 3, let's learn few words here. Now in case if you don't want to mention any approximate time, or if you don't want to mention any specific time to with anyone, then, and in case if something has happened recently, then you can use lately. You can use a word called lately. Lately is something which has happened recently, and that is still continuing. That is still continuing. This could be a verb, this could be a situation, this could be some activity, this could be some incident, this could be anything. Now it absolutely depends upon the situation that how you are using it. Well, I'll share some example as well, but before that I need to tell you about 2 more words. One is ever since and other one is forever. So we use all these 3 words in a situation when we really don't want to tell someone about a very specific time, or we don't want to tell someone about an approximate time duration. These will be the supporting words which will replace the time duration for your sentences. Let me share some example with you. For example, there have been many earthquakes in this city lately. There have been many earthquakes in this city lately. There have been many accidents on this road lately. There have been many accidents on this road lately. He's been on the phone ever since. He's been on the phone ever since. So now you see that I am using word lately, I'm using word ever since. Let me share a couple of more examples with you. For example, that's what I have been trying to explain to him ever since. That's what I have been trying to explain to him ever since. Or we can say, we have been trying this forever. So now you must have noticed that it's really not important in present perfect continuous tense that we definitely have to say 2 months, 2 years, since 2021, since Monday. We really don't have to say it. It absolutely depends upon in what situation we are in and what exactly we want to convey to other people. English is a very diversified language. It cannot have just one rule. Sometimes one sentence can have 10 different meanings, and 10 different sentences can all have the same meaning. That's what the beauty of this language. But that's not it. Let's move on to our next situation and see how we are going to use has been and have been in our sentences. Let me tell you what this situation is all about. For example, something happened in the past, and after that incident happened, something started and is still continuing in the present. Then also we use present perfect continuous. However, our general rule will get changed, and this will change to subject plus helping verb, which is again has been and have been, plus we use verbs ing form it in case the activity is happening, or in case if we are talking about some situation, then we use that situation. Then we use that situation word there. Then we use object. Then we use since and for. And after that, we make a sentence for that incident which happened in the past, and we make that sentence in simple past. Let me explain this to you with some examples so that you will understand that what exactly I'm trying to say. For example, my sister has been working since my father fell sick. That means my sister was not working until my father was well enough, when he was able to go to work. But the day he fell sick and he decided he will not be able to go to his office, that's when my sister decided now she will continue the work. That's exactly what it's trying to explain in that sentence, that my sister has been working since my father fell sick. Let me give you some more examples to clarify this to you. She's been crying ever since she got to know about this. She's been crying ever since she got to know about this. Again, that means that she was happy, she was doing well until she got to know about this situation, about something, maybe about some news, about some mishappening, about something which she didn't like it. Or maybe someone hurted her badly and since then she is not feeling well and she is crying. That's what it means. That she's been crying ever since she got to know about this. She's been crying ever since she got to know about this. Let me share one more example with you. They have been on cloud 9 since they got selected in national hockey team. They have been on cloud 9 since they got selected in national hockey team. In case if you are wondering that what is on cloud 9 means that that person is extremely happy. That is an idiom that we use in our English conversational language. In case if you want to know more about these idioms, I have given a link in the description below, or else you can click on the I button and you can watch all the idioms that we use in our day-to-day conversation with other people. So let's go back to that example, that they have been on cloud 9 since they got selected in national hockey team. Now in all these examples, if you have noticed that after since, I have made a sentence in simple past tense. For example, they got selected in national hockey team. It's a simple past tense sentence. Apart from this, there is one more situation that I can think of. For example, someone is asking you a question and you really don't want to tell that person about the timing, then also you can use has been and have been. Now it absolutely depends whether you want to use it or you don't want to use it. You can just reply the answer without mentioning the time as well. For example, like you are working in a company, maybe you are a receptionist or you are a worker there, and then your boss comes to you and then he asks you that, have you received any reply from them? And you can say, well, I have been waiting for his email confirmation. I haven't received anything yet, so I'll let you know that as soon I get it. So the sentence that you use, that you are still waiting for the email confirmation from that company. However, you have not mentioned the time because you know that your boss knows it very well, that when exactly you send that email to that company. So here, when you are replying to a question, then you really don't have to mention the time in case if you think that the other person knows about the timing then. However, it is absolutely your choice. You can use that also. For example, you can also say the same thing in a different way. You can say, I have been waiting for his email confirmation for 2 months and I haven't received any reply from them yet. So it absolutely depends upon you. Let's take one more example. For example, they have been trying hard to get through. They have been trying hard to get through. That means like maybe someone is going through with a bad situation and they are working hard to get through this. That's what they have been, and they are still trying it. It's just that they don't want to mention and you don't want to mention about the time frame. You don't want to mention about very specific time or any approximate time duration. All you just want to say that they are still working on it. They are still working on it. They are still trying to get through. So what exactly you say is that they have been trying to get through this, but unfortunately they can't because it was a horrible situation to get through with. So these were some rules about the present perfect continuous tense. I really hope that this video was knowledgeable and you must have got some information for all the possible situations that I can think of. If you know about any other situation when you can use has been and have been, please write them down in the comment section below. I will try to reply them. In case if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please click on the subscribe button, share it with your friends and click on the like button. I'll see you in my next video. Till then, you stay blessed.